Welcome to another Misprint Box Lot opening with Avram and Donovan at
Adventures
Adventures
in
in Comics
Comics and
and
Games.
Games. So, real quick, just before we lead into a couple other things, this is a lot I purchased through Facebook with quite a bit of different misprints in it, and we just want to kind of let you see what's in here, what kind of stuff you might be able to get, and I'll just let Donovan take it from here.
So we're always trying to pick up misprints, miscut, misaligned stuff. The more severe or out there, unusual, the better the price. Also, if it's on like a playable card, but even if it's on like, a random bulk type card, we still want it. So we actually have people bring in stuff all the time to the store, knowing that we buy this type of stuff. And I mean, probably a few times a week at least, we get people bringing stuff like this because our offers are so good on it. We're pretty aggressive and generous with picking this stuff up.
Yeah.
Abram's super passionate about it
Oh yeah,
and
have been
collecting
for a
it.
very long
Yeah.
time.
I'm gonna say when I first started working, I was like, "What's this box?" And I'm like, "What are all these boxes of stuff?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm like, what the hell?" I'm like, "I've never even seen some stuff like this." So, yeah, I mean, like, if you have anything like that at all, bring it by.
Yeah.
Let us take a look at it. And if you're looking to get rid of it, we'll make you a pretty good offer.
See, what kind of misprints do we have here? It's not always obvious to check. Okay, so this has it's a little hard to tell on some of them. This is a back error, and it's kind of hard to see. Hard to see, but basically, it has what appears to be little snail trails across the back, which I've seen stuff like this before. It's a coating error where either it didn't fully dry or it had bits of dirt in there and it kind of smeared across, but it's actually very lightly textured. It's definitely a factory misprint. And then we've got, let's see, this one is not jumping out at me.
See?
Yes. Sometimes it's not quite as obvious. Sometimes it's corners. Oh, like this is misaligned and color. Wow, this is actually kind of neat. This is a double misprint. So the first is fairly.
I see it.
It's off a little bit. So what?
That line right there, that's print. That's not a bend.
Oh, nice. There you go. Good eyes. Yeah, on the corner on the back.
It's like a hair.
I've got it. Yeah, right down here by my thumb. Looks like a hair, but is not a crease. It's actually another coding error. This one, the healing solve, it is more off on the back than it is the front. So it would be called misaligned, but also it has a really extra yellowy tint to it. And you can see the yellow line down the side. It looks like the yellow was probably it was called a registry error. It was not lined up correctly. So you can see the line along the side
Oh, yeah, right
and
there.
the discoloration. It's really, it's kind of neat. So we're not going to investigate each one super close. This has more of the snail trails. Um, so does this. I've seen that over the years on various printings, had a lot of coding imperfections and stuff like that. Um, the more it jumps out at you, the neater it is, and the more desirable, more valuable it might be worth. More people, more playable. There's so many people now building decks. There's some they're called printer hickeys. Some particulates were in on the rollers or on the ink, and it kind of didn't allow it to stick, and so there's little you can see little spots along the edge there.
Oh, yeah, I see it right there.
There's so many things. It's kind of neat. Oh, there's some more. There's some more color splotches right here. They call it, sometimes they're called printer hickey. That would be like an oil spill or some type of chemical got on the paper, didn't fully dry because it's not actual water, and so it interfered with the printing. And so this has some smudging right here from the print. Also a printer hickey there. Um, just trying to see, a lot of times it's just what jumps out at us. So let's, like get going a little faster. Printer hickey, more snail trails on both of these. Like I said, I've seen that fairly common. on certain sets. I mean, when you see them, you see a bunch of them, but most people have never seen any. I just happen to have handled more cards than I try to make people believe, because they won't. They don't. This one, it's off-center stamp would be my guess. Not really seeing much else. It is kind of a high gloss on the back. I'm not expecting to see that. That could be also part of the error. And it feels like that. It's like a little textured. Feels like it's missing coating on the back, but you know, some of these, oh wow, that one's kind of neat. It's got a really neat color. Look at that.
Oh yeah, it looks like it's missing a layer of black ink.
Yeah, it's super, that color. It's beautiful for that back. That's kind of neat. This one is definitely, oh, there's a nice big black bleed on the back, nice spot. That is not a permanent marker. Kind of neat. Little splotches.
Oh,
Those
standard
standard.
playable cards.
These, I'm pretty sure the front of these, the color, this is way too purple.
Yeah, it has the extra
And
layer.
the back also has that feeling like it's missing the coating, or you know, missing the color on it.
Yeah, those
Yeah,
are like
so those
really
are neat.
purple.
Yeah, those are very purple. Those are beautiful though. That's the interesting thing. One of the things that first attracted me to misprints, quite a bit of their printer hickeys there on the side, a little bit on that one. They're basically, if you can see, there's both the same card from the same set. Those are similar spots. So that means that probably a little bit of moisture, water, or chemicals got into the ink on the roller, and as it was rolling through sheet after sheet, you can see it hitting the same spot and creating similar issues. Sometimes they can be very identical, sometimes they're completely different, they just are in the same spot. But the uniqueness, the beautiful combinations of things that you could never design, it's just always intrigued me. Look at the red bleed across it. Once again, these are not like pen marks. Like right there.
Oh, yeah, the red right there.
Yeah, that is not a pen mark. That is literally from the factory. There's that right there. Sometimes they call it a pick line, where the roller picked up a bit of the ink, and it may have dropped it off on the next sheet, and we could find another card on the back of the same set that would have been on the next sheet that has an identical mark to that little spot right there. I just want to make sure that everybody can see in the camera. Ooh, overgrown tune.
Oh,
There's like a little spot right there.
that's the
Not a
Ravnica
major
ones.
thing, yeah, not a major error, but it's still kind of cool and a very playable card. Some people want, oh, there's more of those funky lines on the back. Kind of hard to see those in the camera. I don't know if I can get those, but they're basically a lot of lines factory, you know, like I said, they're like drag marks or factory roller marks across the back. I think those ones are like roller marks. That would be another pick line right there, where
Oh
it
yeah.
would have been picked up and it could have dropped off that on another card on the next sheet. There's more. See, here is another example of that same spot, or a very similar spot on another sheet, had an issue, and you can see a little bit more spot there. So this is definitely something was hitting that spot, either removing things or adding things. So it's kind of neat, you know. Oh wow, that's really neat coloring on the back there too. There's like magenta streaks running through it.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. On the left right there.
Yeah, it actually has more than one of those. That's really
Yeah.
neat. Another pick line. This is revised. This is Printer Hickey, Champion of the Flame. Looks like entirely certain. You want to take a peek, see if you can figure out what's up with that guy. Just kind of neat, you know, the different things that can come up.
Oh,
Anyways, let's go through these, start seeing what
right
we...
there.
Oh, awesome, thank you. Oh, yep, there's another little imperfection in the finish right there. Well, basically the inking, not quite a printer hickey, but it's just a minor little oil spill type of situation. Matter of fact, if you want to open up this pull some of these out here. I'll go through more of these. Want to keep this interesting as quick as possible, just to, printer hickey, fronts and then backs. Printer hickey. This one doesn't jump out at me. That's the thing, is some people, they want the subtle print errors, the rare, very scarce print errors that can be proven that it's a factory error and that there's not many of them out there. And then other people want something that really just pops and can be seen across the table or even from the across the room. There's another printer hickey on the back. Some more color, little bleed spots on those. More playable the card is. People are now starting to build misprint EDH decks and regular constructed decks, just wanting to be able to have fun with it and actually limit themselves to what they can find rather than building anything that they could just not normally find out there. A lot of little keys here and there. Yeah, great auction for next Valentine's Day. This is, I'm pretty sure that's just an off-center stamp. A nice foil abyssal persecutor. Back error.
This next area has some really cool ones.
Nice. Let's get these all up here and just want to
make sure they're all going the right way.
I appreciate that. Thank you. Let's see if I can find some. There's some. Of course, I run regular misprint auctions and I try to find the stuff that people are looking for at that time and interesting things and scarce and unique things. And I like to do some really, a lot of nice close photos of the fronts and backs, and I edit the photos together so people can really see what they're getting and the condition they're going to be in. So a lot of little spots here and there. Some people just want it to be a misprint. Some people want it to be seen on the front. Some people collect. There's global collectors who might collect every unholy strength, and so they might also want some misprints, or every misprint that's affordable. A lot of little color errors and stuff. There's right here. Right here. And some people just collect. This is interesting. That looks like, wow, that's really interesting actually. No texture on that, but that looks right up here. It looks like something stuck on there, but it doesn't. I can't really feel anything. It's got to be pretty flat. I'll have to look at that under a microscope here one of these days. Some more back errors. Oh, what happened with these land? Oh, is this super dark, or is this the ones with the
I mean, I'd have to take a look at them a little bit closer. I think the
backs are a little weird on them. Let you take a look at those and see. There's some nice dirty roller marks across the back
backs
here.
are missing the coating. They're super light on the back. Wow. And the helper card is, the corner's messed up. It's too square. And then there's a green printer mark on the back.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Oh, yep.
Yep. And these see the lands. Yeah, it's missing like the coating on the back. Look how light they are.
Yeah.
It doesn't have that
and they're a little grainy because they're not feeling the coating. You can see under the camera that they just look a little lighter.
Yeah.
That's because of the coating. Yeah, that's kind of neat. All right, let's see. Matter of fact, you want to, there's quite a bit here. So why don't you go ahead and see if you can find some more interesting ones. Just to, like High Tide's a playable card. That's just off center, you know, off centers, off center. I know, so, weakness collector. So global collector, so he wants every version of weakness and interesting misprints as well. Noble purpose. There's some real heavily off center or minor miscuts. If they're showing the centering marks or the little centering dots, that usually are considered minor miscuts. Here's some, yep, power surge. That's a minor miscut. You can see another card. It's really interesting to people. This is, off center quite a bit. You can see it on the back. This is off center down and to the right. Really see it on the back. So these are kind of interesting. Other high off center ones. Pretty neat. And then there's a lot of off centers. More playable. The neater it looks, like the off centers, some people like them a lot because it looks neat. Like this, to me, looks really neat because you don't normally see this. But some people are like, that's not a extreme enough. But really, if you can see it from across the table, it's usually pretty cool. Some ink there. Oh, look, top half of that, or top part of that is got like an oil spill or something on it. So it's lighter. You can see how the top is lighter than the bottom. I have a lot of this type of stuff. Double inking on the text. There's some really neat things. This is actually going to be, unless it's a misprint also, that is actually a draft stamp. So it might be that you weren't sure what it is or ended up leaving it in here by mistake. I don't think the foil stamp is off center enough for it to matter.
Those four are really cool.
Oh yeah, no, definitely nice.
There's a bunch that are like that too, from 4th edition.
So this is a misaligned because you see the front is different than the back. So those are more scarce because the sheets were not lined up correctly when they were put together. So when they were cut, you see one side is significantly off. So those are actually really neat. Open Arabian Night, minor miscut. That's kind of cool. Slivers, who doesn't like slivers?
I might have a little.
This is the pile. This is the pile you went through.
That one.
All right, so we'll go through. Here, go through another one. Let's see. Let's get find the more interesting stuff and see what we can do. I'll be going through this stuff later too. I go through my misprints too often. People wonder why I can't just go and find things because I have thousands. And it's not always easy to keep them all in order when you keep going through them looking for things and making piles that are not in order. Dustwalker, it's got some discoloration up here from like dirty rollers or pretty sure that's like, it's basically called smearing or heavy ink which smeared. I actually have a handful of the Dustwalkers from this set that I'll have that error. So that's what you know is a common or a known error. This neat thing about misprints is like this one is really neat right here. This is super light and you can see more of the magenta coming through. This is missing probably missing a layer of black or something. So it's super light and that's really neat. Stuff like that really pops is what people are interested in. Here's more of the lighter ones in here. Ironically, is more of a darker version next to it too, so you can see comparisons. So some of these are very light, heavy, really neat coloring on those. Oh, nice. Old school foil Avalanche Riders. What is up with this one? Open with basically a printer hickey right there. That's kind of neat. Oh, that's actually not damage right there. All the splotches. So those are kind of neat. Heavy ink, I've got some of these too. Oh, Soul Ring, playable. What's wrong with this? This looks like it also has another back error. Kind of looks like gray
On
borders,
the
or
front left side of the border, there's a dot.
there is a dot. Yep, and the back also looks like more like it's missing coding too. So here, take a look at these. I'll show those ones you found. Thank you for the help, Donovan. Appreciate it. Way off center on that, and
That one's
this
also
is
off center. It's,
wow.
yeah.
Yeah, look at
You can
that.
see how dark it is on the side. It should be the image is too off to the left.
Yeah. The front and back is off from what it normally should be. That's kind of cool. That's extreme off center or minor miscuts on these. That's kind of cool. Let's see if we can come up with some more interesting stuff. Oh wait, here's a. This looks like a corner.
It looks like the corner was damaged in the package.
Yeah. Well, actually, it looks like it was miscut. The corner was miscut by in the factory. That's another misaligned. The back is different than the front. More off centers and light coloring. This is definitely light ink. Kind of neat. A lot of different things. There's definitely something going on with this foiling. I'm not used to seeing it like this, but I'm not sure exactly what's wrong with it. Kind of cool though. Some crimps. Also, you can see along the top edge. Get that on there. Yeah, there you go. You can see got stuck in the edge of the pack while they were sealing it, and the machine left that riffle effect on there. And quite a bit of these all have that as well, to various degrees. This has got some. This actually has a tiny, tiny little bit of that. You can barely see. Ooh, Doomblade, what happened with this? Shiny Doomblade. This feels like a back error too. You want to take a peek at this, see if you.
Oh, no, I see what it is. On the left of the image right here, that line, that's a printer defect. That's not a scratch or anything like that.
So on the left side, you can see a little bit of line coming along.
It might be a little hard to see on the camera. But yeah, it's
right here.
That is definitely a part of the printing. That's not like a scratch.
This looks like also the factory had trouble cutting the corners. Little splotch there. It's Bright Noble. There's some more back roller marks and factory marks. Okay. So you found a few more interesting things there. Is this one supposed to be etched?
Let me see.
Clarion Ranger?
No.
So there's some more
I'm
minor miscut.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is not supposed to be etched.
Blue bleed right here. That's quite a bit. That's actually really neat. See on the right hand side of that. This has some roller marks going across the foil. Let's see right. Oh, I think we got that in there. Yeah, there we go. Right across there. See the little lines. So you're pretty sure this is not supposed to be etched, right?
I'm looking it up right now, but I'm pretty sure that doesn't.
Clarion Ranger from Modern Horizons 2. It has the etched.
Yeah. Because only rares and mythics came etched.
So this is actually has the etched foiling on it. So that's actually something that's kind of special. More off off center, off center, off center, center. Quite a bit of interesting things. So sharp. So this is 2 square corners. So you can see right here on this side, both of those were not cut. They're actually square. So I'm gonna get that in a sleeve and a top loader so those don't get bashed in. People still might want it, but they generally, if they collect them, they want sharp corners. They don't want them bent or damaged. So I spend a lot of time actually sleeving and top loading my stuff once I figure out there's another sharp corner. That's one sharp corner and it got damaged. It may have been damaged in the pack. Some people are okay with that. Some people prefer to pass. I prefer to protect it once I see it, and then get it to people who appreciate it. It's a wonderful thing to be able to share these. There's another sharp corner here. I've actually got, I think I have one of these with the 2 left corners uncut like that. Sharp corner. So Kevin, the gentleman I bought the lot from, did somewhat of sorting. He had the crimps compiled together. He has the sharp corners together, the back errors together.
The stuff that had the cut marks in the corner.
Yeah, the certain types of factory errors. These are all right here. Seem to be square corner issues, one or more. So that's kind of neat. I'm gonna basically sleeve and top loader these so they don't get damaged. Yeah, those are a lot of square corners, 1 or 2. And you went through both of these piles, right?
Yeah.
Awesome. So we're not gonna, ask you to look at everyone with us because I'll be doing that later, and I will continue to compile, take them some of the more interesting things, and putting them into my auctions. And I will be, yes, I finally will be cataloging and creating a Google spreadsheet of misprints that'll be available that are more less specific, but might be better for decks with images, so people can kind of shop instead of waiting for an auction or fighting over it. The more interesting, cooler pieces generally need to go in an auction because, as one of the mantras of the misprint community is, if you want to know what it's worth, you put it in an auction. And I agree. If it's really scarce and a lot of people want it, you let the market decide. If it's something that's cool and that's less specific, or it might fall into somebody's collection. Somebody collects spirits or warriors or goblins, even there's a lot of goblin fans, or a specific goblin, things like that. I just want to make stuff more available. This is fun and it's a wonderful thing to share with everybody. But thank you for joining us today, and I hope we'll be able to do some more misprint stuff soon. Remember to like and subscribe.